Minecraft Hardcore, a game mode where if you die you lose everything. Everything you achieved up until this point gone in a heartbeat. That is hardcore. And today, it continues. As soon as I got back to playing Minecraft, I had two main goals I wanted to achieve. The first one was to become harder to kill. So this means to get full diamond with maxed out enchantments and in general upgrade my tools. The second was to just make my house and surrounding area a bit nicer but also safer. I mean, my main goal is to not die, so... The first thing I did was to dug out this super deep hole for a proper mine that's gonna help me get full diamond armor. The other thing on my mind was the enchantments. For now, I just wanted to get an enchantment table, but for that you also need a bunch of bookshelves, and for that I'm gonna need leather, which I can get from cows. This is exactly why I started to build a small cow and sheep farm. After breeding my little animals, I went underground and got so many diamonds. I was able to grab full diamond for myself, which is huge since this is gonna reduce my chances of dying by a lot. My other big goal was to make my area safer, so I started lighting up the area and cutting down a bunch of trees. Both for the wood but also just to clear up space around the house. I decided that I'm going to claim the entire top of the mountain. Not only am I going to light it up, but also surround it with a wall to keep all the mobs out. This is both like a way of showing that I own this place, that this is my kingdom, but also I'm just paranoid about a creeper quietly walking up to me and blowing up in my face, so... Around this time I mostly just spent all my time building the wall, cutting down trees and just breeding my animals. Once I had enough leather, I finally placed an enchantment table and surrounded it with bookshelves. That meant I could actually get some enchantments on my gear. With all those upgrades, I felt ready for the nether. Where I didn't really spend that much time, I just scouted the area and that's about it. I also wanted to build a glass floor to cover the ravine by my house, and for that you need glass, and for glass you need sand, and I had 0 sand nearby. So I went on an adventure to find a desert. I eventually found one, but on the way I kept finding shipwrecks, an ancient monument, you name it. In the end I made a portal at the desert and linked it to the one back home. First I had to build another road for it though, which was pretty nerve-wracking and took ages, but I think it was worth it. I went mining for netherite too, mostly with beds, but even after a long time I hadn't found any. So I switched to looking for a nether fortress, and I eventually found one with a blaze spawner and lots of loot, which was awesome. After finishing a proper road to the fortress, I went home and brewed my first potions. Okay, I wanna take a quick pause here because this is where I took a 6-month break and didn't play at all. When I came back, the first thing I did was get a horse. Mainly for travel, to move faster, but also because pets in Minecraft are just the best, so I made a new friend. I also realized why I hadn't found any netherite before. Wrong Y level. I looked up which Y level you mine netherite at and I realized I'd been way too deep. Once I fixed that, I started finding netherite left and right. Big oopsie right there, but hey, it's okay. Using up this many bands made me decide to build an automatic sheep farm. I also went to the nearby village to get villagers, and transporting them was a nightmare. They kept running away and it took forever, but I finally got them home and could start expanding the population. This also meant that iron golems started to appear, which was quite annoying, so I started killing them, then planting their flowers, which eventually turned into a whole garden. I looked for a better villager breeder design online and started working on the trading hall. Then the boring part of the job started, locking in the good trades. Once I had all my fellows in place, I could bring in the zombie. I don't think the World Health Organization would approve my methods for maximizing profits, but hey, who cares about working conditions when you could get a prot 4 for only 1 emerald? Even with the cheap prices, I still didn't have enough emeralds, and since I got all my money from trading sugarcane in the form of paper, I decided to upgrade my sugarcane farm, and things eventually started to look much better. I was buying enchantments left and right, but I ran into one less tiny problem. Putting the enchantments on your tools required XP, which I didn't exactly have much. As it turns out, blazes drop a lot more XP than your regular zombie or skeleton. So I opted for turning a blaze spawner into an XP farm. And when I went to the nether, I kinda had a funny realization. Because of the 6-month break, I completely forgot about the fact that I already found a fortress with the blaze spawner. So I spent like an hour searching for a fortress, then realized that I have a full-on road that leads straight to a spawner. So yeah, that was the thing. I transformed the blaze spawner, and with my XP farm up and running, I was able to level up so much. This was the last thing I needed to upgrade my tools and armor. I'm tougher than ever, so I think this means the next time we're taking down the Ender Dragon.